Well, folks, this is it. From hundreds, we got it down to 10, and from 10, we're now down to 3. Over the past 6 weeks, Jordan, Ted, and Glenn have proven that they can withstand virtually anything we care to throw at them.
Yeah, I can live with that.
So, naturally, for this incredibly important day, we've decided, forget about us, let's throw them at each other. That's way more fun. That's exactly what we've done. We've organized a head-to-head-to-head showdown. Our 3 remaining contestants have unlimited supplies, a team of carpenters, and 8 hours to complete an outdoor living space of their own design. It's their biggest opportunity yet to show us exactly who they are, what they've got, and why the judges would be nuts not to designate them HGTV's first ever Handyman Superstar winner.
Superstar. You know who you are. Handyman Superstar Challenge.
I'm ready to get started.
And get started it did. 7 long weeks ago with the arrival of more than 400 handyman audition tapes.
I did that. Oops. If you pick me for this show, everybody else is going to have stiff competition.
Narrowed down to who our judges felt had handyman hosting potential.
I just don't think you can beat a performance out of him. I'm looking for a guy or a female who can last for a half an hour on television and make it interesting every week. I mean, I don't think he has any taste whatsoever, but apart from that, he's a hottie, he's in.
Superstar.
Because he's got the quality of a craftsman, he should have a shot.
He obviously has got to know what he's talking about. There's got to be some kind of skill level. He's going to be out there in front of thousands of people who are going to watch him on the tube. And there was a few there that I was just keeping my fingers crossed, hoping, God, I hope you know something about being a handyman, because you're great.
If you're gonna hire someone who's as handy as I am, you better make sure he's as good looking as me.
Okay, his work, not too good. I knew I was going in to see 30 tapes, and honestly, I was impressed with half of them. The other half, I'm seeing people that shouldn't be in the business. That's what I'm looking at. I see people and I'm thinking, okay, did you just want your own television show?
Oh, hi there.
How long has he been in the business? I'd really like to know. For me, personally, skill is very important. But as I'm listening to them, I also have to look at, can they talk on television?
Measure twice and cut once.
I find him boring. He's dull.
It took almost 3 hours to make this year's Top 10 Superstar Challenge finalists official, starting with Ted from Niagara Falls.
I'm a super creative, jack-of-all-trades, MacGyver handyman guy.
I thought Ted was pretty tasty. His tape was funny, and I thought that he's definitely somebody who could carry a show.
Ivan.
I've been relaxing lately.
As soon as he walked out of the pool with the work belt on, he had my vote.
Ian.
Hi, welcome to my backyard. Happen to think
This guy had a lot of talent, enough contractor sense.
just about done.
Randy.
This guy showed professionalism. He knew how to run his business.
Richard.
He's going to drop that on his head. My reaction to this guy was he's an accident waiting to happen. I want nothing to do with it.
Christ almighty, trying to saw this with a pruning saw. Rock and roll.
He's great.
Ilka, our lone female contestant.
Welcome to the palace. These are my designs.
She's a hottie with a hammer.
Paul.
You want a good competitor, you're looking at him right here.
Glenn.
Accomplished for $5,000.
He's the guy that I felt knows more than all of them.
Jordan, the youngest finalist.
I think this is what this needs, some young blood.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And William, all the way from the east coast of Newfoundland.
Not everyone's into dumpster diving.
It sounds like he knows a lot.
But what the final 10 didn't know is what they were in for. Starting right out of the gate with a tough little surprise challenge. Before they even picked up a tool, they had to conceive and personally pitch an entirely new handyman show.
Show is called Love It or Learn It.
It's called Building with the Girl Next Door.
McNabb's and a Weber.
No matter how much nagging.
Like that idea.
Good and bad,
Show.
Construction sites always have music.
nervous and not.
Throw a little bit of Clint Eastwood in there.
When it was all said and done, the judges have made a decision. Ivan. Ivan's number was the first one up.
Being called and going right down to the wire with Randy, I was kind of thinking, well, I didn't deliver at the right time. I thought it was okay. Unfortunately, the other ones were better.
1 down, 9 to go. The next morning, it began all over again. This time, giving the finalists their first chance to show off their handyman know-how. by way of a giant pile of used hockey sticks.
2 hours to create something amazing, something great, something unique, something that says this is your A game.
It's the beginnings of a beautiful love seat. More like a go-kart.
Will it really work?
Yep.
I can see a cold beer sitting on that.
While the judges were clearly intrigued,
But it held me, it didn't break. It's nice and strong.
I've got no idea what this is.
the finalists were surprised to learn it wasn't over yet. Next, they had to present their projects like real hosts.
Hey, welcome back. We're doing a little segment today.
Today we're doing a segment on reclaimed materials. Luckily, we're able to obtain a ridiculous amount of old hockey sticks.
On today's show, we're dealing with reclaimed materials, a Canadian icon, the hockey stick.
And after the judges did their work,
All right, I'm gonna give my bottom three.
Okay.
Randy, Elka, and Paul.
I can agree with that. If you guys agree that it's Randy who goes home.
I did mine.
Fortunately, you will still be moving forward,
Randy was given a second chance.
which means, Ilka, you will not.
Am I sad? No, actually, I'm not. I'm not sad at all. It's like being the first one out in a game of tag. So you just miss out on the rest of the game, but you still got to be in the game, so that was good.
Now the stage was set for the contestants to face their only team challenge.
Just get it done.
In 4 teams of 2, they were given just 3 hours to drywall, floor, and trim a mock living room.
Just hurry up.
It looks so easy on the label. Take a look.
Between their own skills and that of their hand-picked partners,
Feel that?
Can you feel the love?
Oh, baby.
it all came down to what first caught the judges' eyes.
Much wider gap here than here.
If this was my house, I'd be disappointed.
Best part of this whole thing is the drywall.
Oh, you can tell they're handyman, eh?
What were you
And
thinking
then
of
what
the
caught their ears,
Who set up the wainscoting with the floor?
We both had fun.
which turned out to be the presentation of Randy and Paul.
I feel that we moved very well together. It was almost like a ballerina.
Okay, you did the best work.
But I don't think that we'll be having you guys come and join us tomorrow.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Sorry, guys.
Did I think I was the one that would be cut today? Absolutely not.
I haven't got a clue. I'm gonna have to sleep on that and figure that one out. The work is there. It's all about finding the host for a show.
At the end of the day, it came down to this. They're skilled, they're good at what they do, but it's not all about the skill.
With 2 of the most experienced handymen gone, the competition was now wide open. Even though for the next challenge, experience would mean everything.
Look at this place.
Now in a local neighborhood, the 6 remaining finalists were given an unfinished basement, a budget of $80,000, and just 2 hours to provide a concept and quote to a real homeowner client.
This is the basement.
Have you guys decided what you would want to use this space for? Tell me what you'd like.
Are we considering a bathroom for down here?
Yes.
Even with the help of industry professionals, this challenge was one tall order.
Hi, Linda.
Hello. To answer your question, can this renovation be done for $80,000? Absolutely.
If we lower the floor, we're getting into a whole other ball game.
Because you don't know what you're going to find under there. You might find somebody's grandmother under there, you know?
All I need to make is a 10% profit.
But it was only after grilling the contestants.
Yes. The underpinning. Was that included?
No, it was not.
It wasn't.
Jordan, did you leave the client with any costs?
No, I had it with me here.
One word of advice. When you're going through all this with a client, they're really not interested in your house. Okay. They're number 1.
That the judges next called on the homeowner's opinion to help make their final decision.
Okay, thank you.
Today, it was about the homeowner. And the bottom line is, I have to let you go today.
Sorry.
Sorry?
I was floored. Really floored. It just sort of went numb, and I really wasn't expecting that. I've had a blast, you know. It's just, it's been a fun experience, you know. It's hard to take.
With Richard's dismissal, the competition was now down to just 5, who early the next morning faced their most fun challenge yet.
Okay, handyman.
A race against the clock.
On your marks, get set, go!
For a revealing look at how well the finalists could perform 3 simple handyman tasks under pressure. With only 20 minutes at each stop, they shingled a doghouse, hung a closet door,
Door's not holding.
and installed a toilet atop a mock wooden floor. What they didn't do is impress the judges.
So much bow in it, not even close to the level. Look at his lines. My God, never mind the hump. He's got an overlap.
Either with their skills or their basic handyman knowledge, based on a surprise trivia quiz.
What does GFI stand for?
How thick is 6 mil plastic?
What is the standard height for a kitchen countertop?
Ay, ay, ay. 42 inches.
38 inches.
30 inches. 42 inches.
Incorrect.
I want to say 3 feet. I think it's 32 inches.
Wrong. 36.
Add it up, and finalist number 6 would have to go.
You gotta go today, and I'm sorry about that.
Me too. I can't begrudge the judges for not thinking I'm the guy for this show.
Ian was out, which meant it was now down to our Fab Four. And what better way to determine their hosting potential than to put them to their most unique test yet, the camera test. After getting a new look,
I look good. I'm ready. I can take on these young fellas now.
Yes, sir.
some new duds,
You look so
This
dapper.
is a new look for me.
and some tough industry training,
Cut.
Don't be blinking too much. If you blink too much, it's a sign of weakness and it's a sign of distraction.
the finalists had to withstand not only the opinions of a secretly commissioned focus group,
It was okay.
He spoke quite well.
Still good-looking guy.
He wouldn't keep my interest.
they had just a few minutes to lay down the perfect take for a potential hosting gig.
Hello, and welcome to HGTV's first ever Handyman Superstar Challenge.
Our favorite so far to make real viewers real nervous about ever entering competition again.
Now, all they have to do is get through a series of
Hosting-related challenge. Sorry. I had that.
Run back.
Needless to say, the judges had to make their toughest decision yet.
I've saved you now about 2 or 3 times, but
Yes, sir.
I'll save you one more time.
So I'm so sorry to tell you this, but we'll see you tomorrow.
That's it.
I don't think you have the TV talent
Okay.
yet. We'll see you tomorrow.
Glenn was in, which meant only one thing.
Fortunately, you have to go home. And I'm sorry.
Okay, great. I won't think back on things that I could have done differently. I don't see the gain in that. So, maybe next time.
So there you have it. The long journey to how Ted, Jordan, and Glenn earned their way into this very special winner-declaring Handyman Showdown.
Who's the superstar? Handyman Superstar Challenge.
This is it, folks. The final showdown to determine who HGTV's first ever Handyman Superstar Challenge winner will be, based on Ted, Glenn, and Jordan's ability to design and build an outdoor living space or deck in just 8 sun-baked hours.
It's not even fair to call it a challenge. That's just plain rude. Let's call it really what it was. It was an epic task that no man could accomplish on 4 hours of sleep.
At this point, our finalists are about 3 hours into their projects. But in truth, they've actually been working on them since the wee hours of last night. Okay, I'm gonna make this short. This is your list of supplies that you will have for tomorrow.
I had gone down to Ted's room. We had a bathtub full of beers. And Karen came and handed us our sheets and said, this is what we're gonna do.
You will also have a celebrity carpenter and 8 hours to complete an outdoor living space.
She gave us a list of specs of lumber and materials and stuff that we could use to build what was an outdoor living space.
So, the big decision here is whether you go to sleep and rest up, or whether you start to design right now.
And I was like, oh, come on. It's 12:30 at night. I said, I don't want to do this anymore. I've just been up for, 15, 16 hours already.
We really did hammer them. And they had the opportunity to go to bed or to actually read and figure out what they were going to build for today. They all stayed up.
You know, if these guys are professional, they probably could pull it off in one day, depending how they designed it and how big it was. They were pretty tired, and I think when they were handed the challenge, they just went, oh my God, not again. So, tough last challenge.
Pleased to meet you.
It all began early this morning with each finalist meeting their specially designated crews. Each one headed up by a celebrity carpenter. Neil from HGTV's Real Renos. Shawn from Homes on Homes. And Jay from Kitchen Equipped.
Upon first meeting him, I thought, all right, this guy hasn't slept pretty much all night, and he's still ready to go up. He comes down with his drawings, and I was like, oh my God, like, he was severely ambitious about this. I'm writing for the material list, and this is like 3 times over budget. This is going to be a solid roof, or you're just going to have it slatted?
I want the purlins right here. Okay. Going right across like that.
The railing height's 36 inches.
From what I've heard, everyone's been working real hard on this. He's a bit stressed out. Ted has like only ever done one deck before with a couple of buddies, so he had some great ideas. But when I heard his ideas, it was, oh my God, like, we're never going to get all these ideas. But, you know, at least he has them, rather than just go, I don't know.
He went and he puked his guts out, and he came back, and he's like, guys, I'm all right. And he just got right back into it, and I go, this guy's got heart, and that's one thing you need in this business to survive.
All right, sounds good.
I thought it was a good thing that we got to go to Home Depot, the celebrity contractors, and give him an opportunity to start everything. Because if you start wrong, you end wrong.
Now don't forget, even though the finalists were given an identical list of base materials, they were also given a small budget to add to their designs in any way they saw fit. For Jordan, that meant getting his man to load up on as many decorative items as possible.
There you go. Thank you very much.
For Glenn, it was all about shade. In other words, getting enough materials for a roof for his deck. Neil, meanwhile, was simply trying to get Ted as many of the basics as possible.
Okay, if I have to put something back, I'll put it back.
And while their celebrity carpenters played gophers at Home Depot, the finalists were forced to play crew leaders to varying degrees of success.
He just, I'm not doing it. I had sort of basically just a partial plan and some rough dimensions. I was doing like an L-shaped deck, and then when I met Neil, he said, like, you know, you got to know more what you want to do. And then he left, but I gave him all of my sketches and everything that I had started. I had nothing now. I started to freak out because I didn't really know where to start. Hello, Neil. I'm having a hard time getting started here without my plans. I left them with you. Is it a 1-foot overhang that I would use for that?
For Jordan, it was the complete opposite. He knew exactly what he wanted to do and why.
My goal while he was gone was to show him that I could handle this. Kind of just calm myself and know it's the last day I have. This is all I got. Just do what you do. I saw right away we had some blocks to start with, so I knew we were going to start, let's get the posts up and let's support them and let's plumb them and level them up and let's get them going.
Glenn was equally confident about his deck. For him, it was all about keeping his focus and perspective on something he's done many times before.
First thing we did was lay out the footprint, make sure that we had a level base and started from there.
I'm the boss, man.
But this is it, I can do this. And it was just about, you know, I'm off to build another deck. Take your time, think of a nice design, and I can win.
Even so, after almost 90 minutes away, the arrival of the celebrity carpenters had everyone feeling the real work could finally begin.
That's how it normally happens every day. Nothing done, but I got fired.
Once he was there, I just felt a sort of a boost of confidence. He was helpful and really supportive. He just made me feel like, you know, I could do it, so just kind of keep going. It's in the center. We just kind of simplified my plan a little bit. We changed it. We still went with the L-shaped thing. I wanted to do some stairs, like a box-type stair.
Good.
The first thing Jordan wanted to do was gauge his carpenter's reaction to what he'd already done.
When he came back, he showed up in the van, came hauling around the corner, and he started unloading, and he was smiling. He was stoked to see that we were this far along.
This is what I like to see.
We did all the joists, and we just started firing on some floorboards. The first one we had to rip and notch, so it took like a half an hour, which was like, it seemed like 2 hours it took us. But it's important because it's your first piece, and if you put your first piece down square, plumb, level, everything, then it's gonna go, you'll be able to fly through it.
Speaking of flying, Jay's arrival was adding the perfect fuel to Glenn's fire to get things done.
Instead of using 2x8s 12 foot long, we had to put a main header in through the middle, which helped. It got us out of a bind. Everything was sort of falling into place, and it's actually really great because I don't feel I'm under stress, not a mental stress. It's a physical stress, which, you know, I can handle, but it's almost like, you know, doing a workout.
You're halfway through.
Oh, good. Lots of time.
Is half your work done?
I'd say so.
Okay, good luck to you.
Let's just tweak it out. Double up, screw them in, put your things on, put your hangers
Now,
on.
officially at the halfway point, it's clear our title-determining three-man showdown is still anyone's to win.
Handyman Superstar Challenge.
Double.
Under normal circumstances, building a deck just might be the coolest thing a guy gets to do.
Talk to me. Talk to you.
But today, Glenn, Jordan, and Ted have a chance to lend a whole new meaning to what cool really is. They've not only been given some celebrity carpenters to work with, whoever makes the best deck is about to be declared our first ever Handyman Superstar Challenge winner. The only catch is they've got just 8 hours to get it done.
Today was a long challenge compared to some of the other ones. Even still, for my skill level, I'd probably do it over the course of a couple days.
Okay.
Ted is stressed.
You know, I was kind of feeling confident one minute, then the next minute I was freaking out. It was coming to an end. I was just relieved that I had made it this far.
Should I leave you alone?
Please, sorry, I got limited time, gotta concentrate.
Everything went fairly smoothly. The only thing that we didn't do is I knew there was a lot of screws in the deck. And my concern was, you know what, if we concentrate on the screws, we're not going to get the job finished. So I told the guys, put the minimum amount of screws that you can.
It's my wrestling ring.
Mike Holmes came by. He said, you should have a gap between those deck boards. And I find that the wood shrinks anyways, and if you put a space, you have this, sometimes you have this great big honking half-inch gap. And to me, it doesn't look good. So I went with my personal preference.
This is gonna be fun.
We were in the sun, and I looked around, and none of the other teams were in the sun. They were in the shade, and I was like, they're putting me through the trails here today. Holy crap, this one's heavy. Anything fancy or needed design, Shawn was like, hey, you gotta do that. Well, I worked on the stringers, and I worked on the pergola.
What Jordan really worked on was getting it to code.
Let's support the crap out of this thing. Let's do it. Let's overkill this thing, because if Mike looks at it and we overkilled, it's gonna be huge points for us.
But points won't even be an issue unless the finalists' decks get a lot closer to looking like finished decks.
Quick as you can, please now, guys.
We got enough?
With just over an hour left, everyone suddenly seemed to realize they better get on their handyman horses.
We got the actual decking on. We got most of the railings on and the posts and the balusters. Pretty much the box steps are what we had left to do. I'm kind of thinking, I gotta keep going, I gotta keep going, I gotta keep going.
Time was running out. Karen had come and said an hour. That's it?
That's it.
Okay. And I'm like, okay, that's lots of time. But we had tons of stuff to do. I hadn't even got the stairs finished yet.
So how big a stairs do you guys want?
We didn't have a long enough 2x12 to make the span. I said, let's split it down the middle. That way my stairs will cover it when we put the stairs in, and we can block it with some lattice or whatever.
Bish, bash, bush.
Bing, bang, bong.
Railing's done.
We'd been working already 7.5 hours. I thought, uh-oh, don't have time for a gable roof. So I improvised. Got 2x6s off on angle, put them in the corners, and put lattice work over top. At first I thought it would be a little cheesy looking, but once it was in, I thought, this is even a better look than what I was looking for to begin with.
It's coming together, guys. It's coming together.
Half hour left.
Okay.
With time running out, the finalists were calling on all the energy they could muster to get their decks done. Jordan, 10 minutes.
Thank you.
Like, seriously, 10 minutes.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Seriously. Do I stop working and structurally and start putting plants and decorations? Is it about show? Or do I finish it structurally and get Mr. Holmes to see that we've done the right thing?
10 minutes.
Okay.
Are you okay with that?
Yep.
Doesn't matter, because it's 10 minutes no matter what. But
Okay, I think we'll be done.
I kept going. I didn't quit. So, I mean, I'm just kind of proud of myself for, you know, sticking it out and doing it. We got done what we could get done and done. I was thinking, like, okay, maybe I still have a chance at this. Who knows? Anything can happen.
Ted, time's up. Time's up, everyone. Time's up. Okay, Jordan, time's up. No screwing. Stopping with the screwing.
She's like, that's it. I'm like, can I finish screwing this? Like, the screw's sticking out. She's like, no, that's it. I'm like, okay. Good job. Good work. I wish I would have been able to get the plants and at least the tiki torches so they could see we had the plants back in the shade. So I don't even think the judges saw my intentions.
Oh, yeah. Don't worry about it, Glenn. Time's up. Time's up. Everyone. Okay. Time's up. Drop the broom. Time's up. Woo, woo. 3 decks complete. Well, more or less. At least our 3 exhausted finalists can truly say they gave it their all. Next, we'll see if the judges are at all impressed.
Who's the superstar? Handyman Superstar Challenge.
They've planned and they have executed, struggling under the hot sun and under the gun to finish their decks and win it all with the help of 3 top HGTV celebrity carpenters. Jordan with Shawn of Holmes on Holmes.
He proved himself. I was happy with his performance. I can definitely see he's got a variety of skills that really shone through today in the way we tackled this deck. It's overcode, everything. It's just totally solid. Of all the decks here, Jordan's guy absolutely has a shot. And I'd work with Jordan any day.
Glenn with Jay from Kitchen Equip.
I figure I need 4 double joist hangers.
He did a fantastic job. We stuck pretty much the plan we wanted. He knew what he was talking about. He knew how to use his tools. We really started getting going at 12 o'clock or so. 5.5 hours to build that deck. I'm pretty impressed. It's beautiful. You know, that's the best deck here.
And Ted's partner was Neil from Real Renos.
Keep the same markings so the torch won't run the same way.
You got it.
Ted worked phenomenal. He just kept going, kept going, kept going. When we do this for a living, we have time to think. He doesn't do this, but if he doesn't do it, then hey, it's not bad. I mean, everyone else kind of just did one rectangle. The fact he wanted to do an L-shaped one with the wraparound stairs. His ideas were grand, which was good. I would think he would have a shot. I'd hire him.
But as always, the most important opinions in this competition belong to the judges, who now have a closer look at the finalists' handiwork for themselves, beginning with Glenn's.
It's a nice look.
I think so.
Good design.
But look at that side. See how bowed it is, right from one side to the other?
That's what I mean.
It's the first thing I saw. We had 2 screws on the top, we had 2 screws on the bottom, so that's acceptable. I don't like there's no space in between these floorboards. I want to see a minimum of 1/4 inch.
Actually, I would like to see some screws.
Ah, you have a really valid point there, Jimmy. Sometime this afternoon, I said to Glenn, are you going to lay the boards that way? And he said, yes. I said, I wouldn't do that if I were you. And he did it anyways. That was a mistake.
You guys are so picky. I like that there's a little bit of shade.
Look, give it one rainstorm, everything's going to be popping up.
Okay, I got a question for you,
Okay.
Shasta.
Yeah.
Because there's no spacing in between the floorboards, what's going to happen if it gets wet?
I believe it's called expansion.
And then what happens?
It buckles.
Damn straight.
Hey, I've learned something over this last 8 days.
We must have a
Yeah.
space in between it.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it to them for speed because they're trying
There was
so
a
hard
time
to work
limit,
fast.
too. Yeah.
But come on now, I'd rather see quality over speed.
I think he bit off a little more than he could chew. You know, you can't really hit him too hard on it, because I think it was one of the nicer ones when you can actually put a table on it and use it as usable space.
All right.
Let's check the next one.
Ted's deck was next.
Now, these ones are all screwed down.
Yeah.
However, no space again.
Now, I know this might be a silly question, but are we missing some stairs?
No, they didn't have enough time. They were going to probably have another level.
Problem being is that bottom step is too high.
Yeah.
That's an issue. He held this one, so I like that, which makes it really nice and strong, but we must have 2 screws in the top.
They've actually mitered the top instead of taking the easy way out. Showing a little bit of skill there.
And he's fairly level, too.
I had to go off what my co-judges said, and they thought that it was a pretty sturdy, solid structure where quality mattered. I was a little disappointed that he didn't finish the project.
It was simple, and I don't care what you're going to build. I don't care if you don't finish. I don't care what size it is, but don't go extravagant and do everything wrong. All in all, not bad. Time is an issue. He had to stop. There's no top. He did start late.
He did, yeah.
But simplicity works for me, and I love the strength of the rails. It's not bad. You ready to go see Jordan's?
I am.
2x12 outside skirting with anchor bolts all the way around. I saw them do it, and they are there. That is a superstructure.
I mean, I like the design, a little bit of privacy.
Jordan built a tank. Pretty much got it all finished. Very well done. I think, you know, he put a lot of thought into his design.
By cutting that end like that, what that's going to do is help keep it from splitting at the end, as well as give it a decorative look. So that was a smart move. That's a superstructure, bolted beyond minimum code requirement. I had to be impressed by it.
But of course, on closer inspection, Jordan's deck wasn't quite so flawless.
We don't want to see the joint at the stairs. That's the eye candy. That's where you walk in and see it, and see such a joint right at this point here, and it's not even tied in. These are the little things. They're my pet peeves. I want perfection. It's not level. This post is too high, so this side's up, this runs down, this runs down, and they probably saw it when they were cleaning up.
Yeah.
But I'll give it to them. All in all, this is pretty good. I'm gonna put down my number, and I want to hear them talk.
And talk to the judges they will. Next on Handyman Superstar Challenge.
Handyman Superstar Challenge.
After having their decks inspected, it's now the contestants' turn to explain their work to the judges, an exercise that might strengthen or weaken their bid to win it all. First up is Glenn.
You used your imagination. Tell me about it.
Wanted to go with a gable roof. It was like $1,200 worth of materials, and just couldn't do it.
No spaces in between the floorboards?
No spaces in the floorboards is more of a personal preference.
I thought the Q&A went well. I mean, there was some criticisms, whatnot.
You have one level 2x2s on the end.
Yeah, that one we thought we were being smart, and
You made a template.
Made a template. However, the spacer on the bottom or the top must have been slightly smaller. By the time we got to the end, it kind of went like that.
Yeah, you check every fourth one or something as you go.
What's that saying? If you don't have a level and you don't have a square, you better be out of business.
Yeah. You know, when you're doing something like this, sometimes you've got to be quick and dirty and just get what looks fine.
There's hardly any screws in the floorboards.
The idea was put the screws in just to hold it down. If we have time at the end, then we'll put the rest in.
Your header across the top there, got a big bow in it.
Yeah, I know.
Glenn, I've got something good to say. I love your plants.
Oh, thank you.
You're the only person that added a little decorative touch.
Yeah, not much, but I think it adds something.
I think it definitely adds a little something to it.
We only have one bolt?
Nope, there's one underneath. There's two.
There's two? So you have one on the top, one at the bottom?
On both sides, yes.
Well, we can scratch that off.
All in all, not bad, but we got to talk about it.
Thank you. Wow.
Ted's next.
Well, we took a good look at your deck. Tell us about it.
Chez Ted, it's kind of just a little wine bar patio off the back of the house. Had planned and anticipated to have 2 steps here. Fell a little bit behind this morning, just in the planning stages.
You have no spaces in between your floorboards.
But they're gonna shrink.
Ah, but they're gonna expand if it rains. And what are you gonna do then?
Did I space them? No, because I learned from a neighbor. When I did mine, we took a pry bar and wedged them right up tight because they shrink a little bit.
You must have a minimal space in between, okay? So that's a big mistake. No screws in your brackets?
Just never got there yet.
Never got there? 2x2s require 2 screws at the top. How many do you have?
I only have 1 in there at the moment.
Yeah.
He did miter your joints, which was nice, the corners.
Well, Neil did most of the cuts there, but I was kind of working on the spindles, and he was a huge help. He was an honor to work with him today.
One thing I'm going to give you a great big 2 thumbs up on is your screws are at least an inch in from the edge. A lot of people make a mistake and try and put a screw right on the outside, which splits the wood.
Right.
So all your screws are just perfectly in order, nice and straight. You drew a line, which will disappear in about a couple of weeks.
You notice he's the only one, I think, that drew the line.
Yes, he is.
How did you do with your budget?
We have lots of material, obviously, left over, so we're way under.
We'll get back to you.
Okay. I feel great.
Jordan is, of course, the last finalist to defend his work.
To my patio. Today we built a little deck with a little pergola. We were going for a little hot tub styles. That's why we raised up our handrail so drinks could rest properly. I didn't get a chance to get my tiki torches, bird feeder, and plants up. I felt a good vibe from him today. I just told him the stuff that I didn't get done, and Mike right away said, so
what'd you do wrong?
I'm thinking my stairs could have used another stringer.
Correct.
You're probably going to say I'm at a level on my pergola.
You are?
My plan was to have some glass on a 1-inch slope.
On the top?
Yes.
I would have went one way, not two.
It was totally like this and all over the place, but he bought it a little bit.
If you're going to do that again, slope it one way, and it won't look cockeyed, because it looks cockeyed.
True.
So you're right on your stringers. You got double bolts all the way around, your 16-inch bolts across the center. I love it. Yeah. Your height is great, but it gave you one fault, and what was that?
I knew he was going to drill me on the one screw in the spindles. I should have had more meat.
This should have been more meat at the top. I want to see 2 screws in the top, 1 screw in the bottom.
Just look how many you split.
How many cracked. I thought of pre-drilling, but...
You must pre-drill.
I knew we shouldn't have cut that joist there.
This drives me absolutely insane.
Yeah,
You did that joint right at the stairs.
10 more minutes, I could have had it pimped out for you. So I said that, and he's like, yeah, that's right.
We got to talk about it. See you soon.
Thank you.
Good job, man.
Thanks. I think I stepped it up today and showed them that I got the skills to pay the bills.
We'll just see about that, Jordan. The judge's deliberation is next.
Handyman Superstar Challenge.
It's crunch time on this, our first ever Handyman Superstar Challenge. The judges must now decide not only who wins today's challenge, but who walks away as the overall champ.
Ted, Jordan, Glenn. I'm at an even stake here.
My job here today is to find somebody who I think is, commercially viable. And I can tell you that my heart is definitely leaning towards Glenn. Up until today. I don't know if you just woke up on the wrong side of the bed today. When you're on camera, you need to have that sparkle.
He didn't have that zest that he had yesterday.
Yeah, he seemed deflated.
Beaten.
Yeah. Now, in terms of his project?
Design, it wasn't bad. Probably bit off a little more than what he could chew.
Every day, he's gotten better. Glenn has stepped up. Ted, I think, has fallen back. Ted was worn out, done. Almost like, okay, just send me home now.
Yeah, I thought that Ted made a good choice in going simple, solid. I wish that he would have finished the project. Do you know what I like about Ted today? Ted had an opportunity to trade in an assistant for a full-on carpenter. And he said, you know what? I'm going to stick with my team.
Granted, I'll give you that. Jordan, what did he do?
Jordan comes from a family of construction, and wouldn't you think he would have more experience than what he does?
Yes. I think he just toyed too much.
He's wild, right? He comes up with these wild moves that he makes every else, and that's what makes him unique, and that's what we've liked of him.
Jordan still had the spark. Jordan still stepped up to the plate.
Watching him today, I still find him having a hard time with the eye contact.
All right, let's play craps.
Okay.
Who would you pick right now, just like that?
Ted.
Why do you say Ted?
I just still think he's more appealing on camera. He is the guy you're gonna watch more. Okay, you know what, his skills aren't the greatest. He can learn. Watching him today, he picked up very quickly on what he was supposed to do.
I think he's a guy's guy.
From what I'm hearing, it's Ted, Glenn, and Jordan.
I think you're hearing right. That's the way I think, personally, it should be.
I think Ted's got on-camera presence.
I don't agree. Jordan, I think, has got more on-camera presence than Ted.
Jordan's a wild guy. He's all over the place.
Glenn has consistently gotten better every day, and I can't let that go.
He was hanging on to the post for dear life. I felt that he gave up.
Yeah, but we never judged anybody by one.
You're absolutely right. As much as I like him, I think he's lovable. If this was a show about hugging, he would be the host.
All right, let's talk about Jordan.
Yesterday's performance, which was probably the most important performance to me, Jordan failed miserably.
But he's proved to be the best day in, day out.
Well, he certainly knows what he's doing.
Yes.
You know what? I think Glenn's great, but he's a sidekick, Mike.
Wow. I didn't expect this. Jordan did the best today. He did the best. The boards had the spaces. The structure was overcoat. It was perfect. Not to mention, it was complete by this much. So where are we? Jordan? Ted?
I don't know.
Glenn?
It's a toss-up.
It really is.
Toss up or not, the judges still had to make their choice on who the winner would be.
Can you live with it?
Okay.
Okay.
Deal?
Deal.
Okay. Just let them know.
Wow.
Let's go read it.
Who's the superstar? Who's the superstar?
To begin with, we need a one.
Thanks, guys.
It's been a long road for our budding handyman superstars. Challenge after challenge, these three have not only paid the price, they've persevered impressively.
The race is over!
Now, on this final day of competition, we've arrived at the finish line. The judges have made their decision and must now declare our superstar champion.
It just felt good that it was like finally at the end. We're gonna hear, and thank goodness. Maybe I have a shot at it. Who knows? It's the same thing every day. We don't know.
I was just nervous and freaking out and biting my lip and was hoping it was going to be quick and easy.
I felt confident. I thought, okay, I've got a chance to do this, but you know what? What we found out is anything can happen. Maybe I'm not going to win this thing. Maybe I am. Just sort of mind games is what's been going on the whole week.
I looked at the judges and they were smiling, and usually they're just like trying to pull their mean face, right? So I knew we weren't going to get trashed on today.
This whole process has been an epic test of character, and you've all passed with flying colors. You've done incredibly well, and everyone here is very, very proud of you, and you should be proud of yourselves. Our judges have a little something they would like to say to you. Jim?
I couldn't have done half of these challenges. Just, getting to know you was great. I've had a great week following you. It's an honor, because you guys did one hell of a job, and you should be proud. No matter who walks away today, you guys are all number one in my books, and I'll work with any one of you anytime.
Thanks.
Thank you.
In my mind, I am looking at the best three guys out of over 400 tapes. I have no doubt that we picked the right guys. I am really proud of you. You've listened, you've worked really hard, and I know it's a cliche, but there are no losers.
First, I would like to apologize for being so tough on you guys. The door's upside down. Come on now, I'd rather see quality over speed. You must have a minimal space in between, okay? So that's a big mistake. But you know what? It's gonna bring out your character, it's gonna bring out your talent, and someone's gonna win today. But I have one special thing I wanna say to you. To the winner, I'm gonna give you a special guest appearance on an upcoming television show of Holmes on Holmes. So you're gonna come work with me, okay? Good luck, guys.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
That being said, HGTV's first ever Handyman Superstar Challenge winner is... Jordan.
Hey! I was like, Ted? No. Me? Jordan? What? Whoa, and then I just had to hug, and then I was just emotions caught up with me, and I just wish I had some friends or family to be here with me.
I think the best man won, for sure. He deserves it. He fought for it. He never gave up. No matter what we gave him, what we did to him, how much we pounded him, he took our advice, and the next morning he came back and went at us again. So, yes, he was definitely the winner today.
Good job. I think any one of them honestly really could have got it, but we have to look at who is the best person for it. Who has both qualities, both as a handyman and on screen. Jordan got it.
I feel that the right person won, but I wish that we could have picked 3 winners.
Yeah, I wanted to win it. I mean, I don't think I would have been here if I didn't. It might be sort of a combination of personality and presence and skills and whatever. I think Jordy's got all that. He's got sort of a look, and he's got crazy hair, and he's got the skills to do it.
That looks nice on our first one there, boys.
The right guy won. Jordan's a stand-up guy, and he did a real good job. But you know something, Jordan? At least I didn't puke.
Superstar. I don't know. I don't know what to do. I don't know what's gonna come of it. I just gotta be humble, not let it get to my head. I don't even think it's sunk in yet.
Jordan, well done. I hope your girlfriend can handle all the fan mail, baby.
Congratulations, Jordan McNabb from Coquitlam, British Columbia, our first ever Handyman Superstar champion.
You know who you are.